Hi, today I will show you the basic configuration of Microsoft Excel. Although I will be using Microsoft Office 365, most of those settings are universal regardless of the version of Excel. So let's start with opening Microsoft Excel and selecting a blank workbook. We'll start with how the setup of Windows impacts your Excel instance and experience. If you type any formula, in our case it will be a VLOOKUP, you will see that there are specific delimiters or separators between variables. It can be a semicolon, a comma, or anything we set up for that matter. So for my example, if I select a cell, you can see that the delimiter or the separator is a semicolon. If I use a comma, it doesn't work. This setting is controlled by the regional settings. So you can go to search, you can look for your control panel. So let's say, control panel. You go to clock and region, you go to region and additional settings. And if you see here, we have a couple of settings like the decimal symbol and the list separator. So let's change the list separator for something like a minus. And if I accept, click OK, accept, click OK. And now if I type a VLOOKUP, you can see that after selecting one variable, my list separator changed to a minus. This, of course, can be adjusted further. If you go to region, click on additional settings, we can set here a comma. Right, we click accept, OK, and then when I go into VLOOKUP, you can see nothing changed. And why is that? So if I go back to my additional settings, you will notice that I have a comma in two places. I have a comma in here and in here, right? So that's the conflict. So when I change this to a period, to a dot, and I click accept, OK, then what you'll see when I type a VLOOKUP, that it accepts the comma as a variable delimiter now. So additionally, what is controlled by the region settings is the short date. So since I don't have the ability to minimize that, let me show you quickly. Let's type 101 2024, and as you can see, it gets formatted according to my short date formatting. This can be controlled in one of a couple of ways. The easiest way is to change the format, and I can go up and select English United Kingdom. And if I go to additional settings, you see that it automatically applies the settings for the United Kingdom, and it also changes the date format. So let's see what happens when you click apply OK, and now you can see my short date format is changed. So why is that? This is due to the fact that Excel doesn't understand dates as dates. It represents dates as numbers. So here, before the dot, you have the date, so the actual year, month, and day, and then after the dot, you have hours. That's why the regional settings actually apply only the formatting to the date. So we can revert that now. I will select my Polish settings. I will go here into the additional settings and set the format I'm most, or the delimiters I'm most used to. Let's click accept OK. Let's delete that. Another thing we will briefly speak about is the ribbon. So the ribbon is on the upper section of your Excel. As you can see, you have different tabs in the ribbon, reflecting different areas of Excel that you can work in. This is also completely adjustable. To change that, you go to File, Options, and then you select Customize Ribbon. And as you will see here, I have all the ribbon options, all the ribbon sections selected. But for example, if it would be that I would know that I won't use Draw and Developer, I can easily unselect them. Then click OK. And as you see, they've disappeared from my tabs list. When it comes to ribbon, so we will go back to File, Options, and Customize Ribbon. And let's show the Draw and Developer again. Another thing I can do in the ribbon is I can create a new tab. You can do that by clicking here on the New Tab button. Now I can name my tab. So let's say it will be called Additional Functions, right? And if I click OK, the Additional Functions tab is created. Inside the tab, I can have groups. Groups, as you can see here, categorize the commands into specific sections. So as you can see here, I have only one group. Let's rename that and let's name a group as copy paste. And we can select actually an icon. Now, what I can do is here on the left-hand side, I have comments that I can add to my tab and to my section. If you don't find something on the popular commands list, you can select all comments, macros, and all the options from the drop-down list. But for our purposes, popular comments will do. To place a command in this section, we just select it. We then go to the command that we need and we can simply click on add. It gets moved to the right hand side to the ribbon. Now if let's add fill color and click OK. And now what you'll see happening is that I have a new tab created which is called additional functions. And on this tab I have a group, a section with my selected commands. Of course, if I go to File, Options, and Customize Ribbon, I can add here multiple sections. So I do that by clicking here, or I can add a new group here, and I can add a new group here from this level from the other button. So if I click add a new group will be created. Let's rename that group and let's call it data. You don't have to select an icon, by the way. And now let's move something else to data. So for sure, I want to have filters, charts, and let's say conditional formatting. And if I click OK, you can see that on my tab, a new group has been created. This is a great and quick way to organize your Excel and especially your ribbon in such a way that you have the most commonly used functions in one place. One other thing you can do is go to File, Options, Customize Ribbon, and if you would want to move that tab somewhere, you can either use the buttons here on the right hand side and then they will move, or you can right click on it and select Move Up. Then if I click OK, you can see my additional functions are in the first place. Now, if I would want to remove a created tab, I would go to File, Options, Customize Ribbon, click on the tab I want to remove, and then as I've showed you previously, I can either unclick it and then it will disappear, or if it's my custom tab, I can right click it and just select Remove. And if I click OK, you can see that the tab was removed. Another cool feature is the Quick Access Toolbar. Quick Access Toolbar allows you to have the most used functions here on the top of your Excel interface. Now, if you start Excel and there is no Quick Access Toolbar, or by accident you have hidden it and it's no longer available, don't worry, because you can click here on the ribbon additional options and just select Show Quick Access Toolbar, and it will reappear. Now let's see what the Quick Access Toolbar actually is. If I click here in Customize Quick Access Toolbar and I select More Commands, I can actually add commands to my Quick Access Toolbar. I do that by selecting a command I need and just clicking Add. I can do that for multiple options, so let me add filters. If I click then OK, you can see that those icons were added to my Quick Access Toolbar. If I would want to remove it, I would go to Customize Quick Access Toolbar, More Commands, I select the command I want to remove and then click on Remove. And if I click OK, you can see now the additionally added option is deleted. A common thing reported by many users is when they accidentally switch their Excel style from a regular address to R1 C1 style, which means that both rows and columns are numbered. So to fix that, we go to File, we select Options, and here in the formula, you will see that we have a tick box next to R1 C1 reference style. If I untick that and click OK, you can see my columns went back to being letters instead of numbers. What this impacts is actually, if you look now, if I use the same VLOOKUP and I select a cell, it shows in the regular style, so letter for the column, number for the row. If, however, I go back here in Options, Formulas, and I switch to the R1 C1 reference style, what will happen is if I use the same VLOOKUP and select a cell, you will see that there is a reference, numerical reference to both row and the column. Additionally, an interesting setting here in the formulas, let me untick that, is the formula autocomplete. So as you've seen, whenever I start typing, Excel tries to give me a hint on what formulas I have to choose. So if I say, for example, concatenate, right? I can choose either one of those functions and then click the tab to autofill that. However, if I go here into File and Options, Formulas, and I'll select the autocomplete, what you'll see happening is that if I start typing, it no longer gives me an option to autofill by using the tab. Although when I type in the function, as you can see, the standard Excel help is still available. So let's go here and change that back. So formulas, formula autocomplete, and click OK. And that concludes our short how-to. Hope that it helped you. See you in the next session. Have a great day and a delicious coffee. And till next time.